We're doing it live.
Let's go.
Pulling up the stream on my phone, and then I'm going to send the link.
Send that link.
Make sure to smack the like button. Oh, dude,
Ring
that was really
that
cool.
bell.
When I hit the like button, it had a movie slate, like the clapper. It did that symbol whenever I hit the like button.
Nice.
They made that just for Banter Fodder. That's sick, dude.
Man, that's so cool. How thoughtful of YouTube.
I know. Good guy, YouTube. Friend of the pod.
Friend of all creators, really.
Eh.
I'm kidding. He's a joke. It's called a joke.
Speaking of jokes, hey, your gym is a really big one.
Such a joke. Who can be as bad as one? Yo, yo, yo. We got him, guys. We got him.
Chief, we got him.
Well, we got him. We see him. Is he there? No, I can't hear you. James, talk. I got nothing.
Jim, it says your mic is muted.
Oh, now it says it. It didn't earlier.
Hello.
There we are.
Hello.
Hello there.
Man, StreamYard's being weird tonight.
I blame it on Jim having to update his PC.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. Well,
Hey,
well,
buddy.
well.
Poking Daddy.
Hi. Say hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Canyon.
Say, all right, go to mama. Love you.
Love ya.
Love you.
Love you.
Cute.
Cute kid.
Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Okay. Am I good now?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What's wrong?
You're coming. Something keeps getting unplugged over here, and now y'all are coming through my computer speakers. What a night.
Uh-oh.
What a good night. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. Okay. What is happening?
What?
It's not giving me the option to plug it. It's not giving me the option for my output to be the interface. I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally on there a second ago. Man, this is good stuff.
Quality content.
Quality content.
And they
maybe
get to experience it with us.
exactly. Maybe try and leave the room and then rejoin.
I'll come back.
He's just going to walk out of the room and then walk back.
Yeah.
Did it work?
I hear you.
Jim is the first, and he certainly will be the last.
Wow. How optimistic. It's not going to stop till you wise up.
One is the loneliest number.
Dude, the use of songs are just so good in this.
It's so good. Wow, we got 6 viewers while we're missing one of our co-hosts. We got
Wow.
7 viewers while we're missing one of our co-hosts.
It really tells you a lot about that co-host, I think.
Honestly. Now we're down to 4.
Well, I guess it is what it is.
Oh, well.
Well, everybody, if you're joining us right now, we are experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're still live. We're just waiting on our friend Michael to come back and join us, and then we're going to get started.
Indeed. Indeed.com.
The good news is I haven't really watched a whole ton, so I'm not going to take up a lot of time.
I haven't either, so I won't take up a lot of time as well.
Look at that. Look at us go. All for the pod.
Oh, yeah. All for the love of the game.
Where did Michael go?
I don't know. Is he coming back?
This is how he leaves us forever.
Yeah. I always knew he hated this movie.
You could tell.
Yeah. He gave it 4.5 stars, dude. He's a hater. And he's certainly not Bill. See what I did there?
Oh, yeah. Interesting. Took me a little bit.
Yep.
It's not... Man, I really did just want to hit play on the master right whenever it was up there. Dude, when that music started playing, oh, man.
Yes, sir. I really just need to rewatch all of his movies.
Same.
Except for Inherent Vice.
Yeah. Man, I was not into that one.
No.
Like, I'm willing to give it another shot, but that first viewing was not a positive viewing.
Yeah, it was not it. That's what, like, slightly worries me about... Well, it doesn't even look similar, but like the new film doesn't look similar to Inherent Vice stylistically or tonally, but it's based on, or like it's an adaptation.
Same author.
Same author, yeah. Although I heard that this time around it's like a very, very loose adaptation. So I don't know, but the second trailer for his new film, I saw it. What did I see recently? Where I saw it? I think it was when I saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Actually, they showed the newest trailer for it. That was my first time seeing it, and I was like, I'm actually kind of sold on this movie now.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna like it for sure. I think it's gonna be too good to not like.
Yeah.
My only thing is like, I Licorice Pizza was a great time, super fun. I was ready for another like Master or There Will Be Blood or Phantom Thread kind of deal.
Yeah.
And so just like selfishly, I'm like, man, I need you to hit me with one of those because that's just what I need right now.
It would be pretty great. Maybe we're secretly getting that. We just don't know it.
Maybe. The thing is, like, Punch Drunk Love is a very different movie from those others, but it kind of does hit me like those others in a lot of ways. So
yeah, for sure.
And what's so funny is like the thing that I think about that has those that's shared in common with a lot of those is it's either one or two people. Most of it is one, but the Master you kind of get the two semi-protagonists, even though it's generally Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah,
but it's just those movies are these just masterfully put together character studies that are so dialed into like their main character. And so what makes Magnolia feel so wild is like it's like 5 different people getting that PTA main character treatment in one movie.
I know. Hello there.
Hey,
Hello, Michael.
I don't know what happened. I can't even explain it. It was just weird, stupid stuff.
I can't explain it. I carried him. I raised him.
There was no father.
Can't go a single day without referencing Star Wars.
Of course not.
I actually don't think I can or have in a decade at least.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, have y'all started a conversation?
No.
We were like just talking about stuff that was related to PTA, but
Gotcha. Cool.
I think it's time to do the intro real
Yeah,
quick.
let's get into this bad boy.
Let's get into it. All right. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Banter Fodder podcast. I'm your host, Drew, joined by my co-hosts Michael Hoover Dam and Jimmy Jam, the Walker Texas Ranger Man. And today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite films, Magnolia. But before we do that, let's talk about what we've been watching lately. And we'll start off with James because he gave me a spoiler and he said that he doesn't have that much on his list.
Oh my gosh. What are we even going to do?
So it's 4 movies, but
okay, this guy lied to me.
Well, that's not a lie. I watched Hell House LLC, a nice little spooky found footage movie, and it is really spooky. It got me pretty good throughout. So really getting into the actually that's the shared thing that all of these recent watches have in common, because after that I went to the theater and saw Weapons. Really enjoyed that weird movie. That was a different movie, but I liked it quite a lot. So
Yes, sir.
we're in good hands for Resident Evil. This guy is going to handle. There's no weirdness that series is going to throw at this guy, and he won't be able to handle. Then I rewatched Lake Mungo, which is another kind of it's a not found footage, but it's like the kind of mockumentary style ghost movie that I think is great. It's so believable in its documentary feel, and so the horror of it feels like they're so sparse with it, so that when it does show up, you're like, ooh man, that got me. Because it sells you more on the reality than like the just crazy in your face scares. So I'm a big fan of Lake Mungo. And then lastly, I watched for the first time the 2016 horror movie The Void. This is a nasty little cosmic body horror movie that I really, really liked a lot. It is very Lovecraftian, and part of what I love about him, just in terms of like the horror he told, and like especially the movies that are inspired by him, is that you get the combination of like this unknowable cosmic dread, this like unfathomable to the human mind level of just abstract horror that like literally in his stories drives the mind crazy to try to consider it, and it's mixed with this very fleshy, nasty body horror. And there are some effects in this movie that literally made me like, oh, I'm squirming, dude. I'm squirming. So that was a nice little spooky treat. But that's what I got.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
Michael, what about you?
I've actually haven't watched much this week, unlike the liar over there. No, just kidding. I really have just watched the movie that we're talking about tonight twice, which I'm really happy I did. And I finished How I Met Your Mother. And man, that last season is a slog. It is a slog. And I'm really torn on a lot of aspects of it, of the last season in general. But I still stand by it. I think the ending is great. I really like how it ends. And I get the criticism for it, but it works for me. I really, really like how it ends. I think How I Met Your Mother in general, I'm really glad that I did this rewatch because I just kind of forgot how really, really great it is. And a lot of people call it a ripoff of Friends. And of course, there's similarities, but it's very different in how it is as a sitcom, with the way that it utilizes flashbacks and stuff like that. It's actually really cinematic in a lot of ways. And it's a different humor. And I don't know. I love the characters. I love the characters. I love the humor. They have some really great long running gags that go through the whole show, and like slap bets and stuff like that. And I think it's a really great show, and it does struggle the end. Like, seriously, I think the last season has like 3 good episodes out of like 24, because spoiler alert, they semi-spoiler here, they try to cramp, they set the whole season around a wedding weekend, a specific wedding weekend. And so you really feel that drag, them just trying to stretch out this time. Oh, it's like excruciating sometimes. And I can also tell some of the actors have like checked out. I feel like some of them are gone. Like I feel like Jason Segel's been like, "Can I go, guys? I love you, but I gotta go." And so I felt that a lot, but I really do think there's a couple of really good episodes. One of them dives into the story of like the mother, and it's like her side of things, and that's a great episode. And then the finale I genuinely love, and I think it's great. So it was worth getting to, I guess, but it was tough, but I got there. So that's really what I've been watching. I just was like, I'm gonna finish this thing. So,
and now that you finished it, you can start watching some Star Trek.
Well, we'll see. I'm still not feeling motivated. I don't know. I think maybe I'll watch Andor again.
All right, that's fair.
No,
right?
Watch Star Trek.
Yeah, you totally should.
I will.
That's not good enough.
I will.
That's not good enough.
Exactly. Oh man.
What about you?
So I also watched Hell House LLC because James and I, along with good friends of the pod, Ryan, Stone, Mitchell, no particular order. Mitchell is the one who really started that whole thing. So he's actually first. But we started a spooky movie club way back in the day. This thing's running on 5 years now, so it's pretty crazy. And Hell House LLC was James' pick for the first phase of this year. And then I followed that up with Shudder, which was another one of our picks. And
I love Shutter Island. So good.
I really, really liked both of these a whole lot. I think Hell House LLC was just a really entertaining, like, mockumentary, found footage style horror film. A lot of the characters were very believable to me, and also the horror was really effective. There's a lot of like atmospheric horror that just had me super spooked.
There's a lot of tension building where it's
there
like
is.
You're just like, dude, don't freaking look at don't turn the camera, man. I'm pleading with you, don't turn the camera.
There was one moment where the cameraman sets his camera down, and then there's a silhouette in the background. And it's not even a jump scare, but it's terrifying. It's like the kind of like a lot of the horror in it is like the kind of like scary stuff that like when you have the lights turned off and you see a shadow that like shouldn't be there and it scares you. It's like that. So it was super fun to watch.
Well, there's the scene. I just got to describe this because it literally made me go, oh no. There's like they've got like 3 clown dummies sitting on the floor, and these clown dummies, like it's the mannequin type things where the necks can't move. Like
I'm already out. I'm out.
So they're sitting on the floor, and these guys are freaking out, and they're like trying to find their friend, and they kind of they feel like they get pushed, I think, into like this little trap door down there, and they open the door and look out, and all the dummy clowns that aren't supposed to move, they've turned their head and they're staring at them, and I'm like, no, dude, this ain't it.
Yeah, I'm out. You had me at clown.
Dude, the clown in this is like, I don't really have
it's
a fear of
terrifying.
clowns, but this clown is freaking, dude.
Yeah.
Every time he showed up, I was like, dude, burn this thing to the ground. I can't handle looking at this guy anymore.
Oh man, yeah. So that was a fun ride. Shudder is a very, very weird. Is it Taiwanese? film?
Taiwanese, yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting. I don't know that I've really seen a horror film like it before. And there's a couple of shots near the end of the film that really have stuck with me. So yeah, that was just a really weird one. And I had to watch it. I think like one of the only places, if I'm remembering correctly, that you can watch it is through the what's the app called?
Tubi?
No, it's not Tubi.
MySpace.
Yes. Oh, it's the Fandango app, which
Oh,
was
yeah.
formerly Voodoo.
Oh.
And it's like, it's just terrible UI and everything. And the movie's in like 240p basically. But it was still, I liked it a lot. And
Like
then,
watching a movie through a potato-powered microwave, dude. It's
yeah.
rough.
And then I rewatched The Incredibles on the big screen
Oh, come
for my
on.
friend's birthday on Sunday.
Heck
And
yes.
that was, wait for it, incredible.
Legendary.
It was genuinely fantastic. What a way to watch that movie. It felt like I was watching it in IMAX in a way because it was so loud. And I had like perfect seats. There weren't like a ton of people at the birthday party, so it was a grand time.
Dude, that's awesome.
So that's what I've been watching with movies, and then I've kind of started my I've started my watch of the original series of Star Trek again. So I'm like episode 6, 7, 8, somewhere around there in the original series, season 2. And then I'm also slowly making my way through season 2 of Smallville. And I've only got like 2 episodes left in that.
Yeah, I forgot I started that.
Yeah, you should get back to that. It's
I love it. I really do love Smallville.
Yeah.
I got a couple episodes into Smallville, but then Trek.
Heck
derailed.
yeah.
I've been trekking through Trek.
Mm-hmm.
You have been trekking through Trek. Speaking of trekking, let's trek into Magnolia.
Trek this out. Sorry. I don't know.
No, it works.
Yeah, man. All right, we're looking for a new third co-host. Anyone want to submit their resume real quick? So, man, okay. What we were doing, like the last few episodes, and this one, and the next one that we'll have, is we were just all kind of picking personal picks. You know, they didn't necessarily have to be a film that was personal to us. It could have been something that we hadn't seen before that we really wanted to watch. But I think James and I, and Vuk, when we had him on the pod, we all picked films that were meaningful to us. And Magnolia is one of those for me. I think it's definitely in my top 5 films, for sure. There's just no way that it isn't. And
this was your number 2 spot when we did top 10, right?
I can't remember actually. It was up there for sure. But this film, man, like, I don't know. It just, the first time I watched it, it really stuck with me. And then we rewatched it, or I rewatched it last year because we were planning on doing an episode for it last year, and then that didn't pan out. So I rewatched it again for the pod, obviously. And I love this film, and we'll get into it in a minute. But you know, I picked this one because it is so high on my list, and it's one of those films where even though I've only seen a few times, I think about it all the time, whether it's bits of dialogue or if it's specific scenes, some of the music, the ending, the the themes. I think it's such a powerful film, and it's also just it's got some of the greatest performances I've seen from some of the most legendary actors. So this is just I don't know. This to me, this film is lightning in a bottle. But we'll start off with getting some quick thoughts from Michael because this is your first time watching it. So I want everyone to hear about what you thought about this.
Yeah, it's my first and second time watching it. Yeah, so the other night, I put it on for the first time, and I told the guys, I'll be honest with you, for about the first hour, I was not sure how I was feeling about this movie. It wasn't clicking. I didn't like hate it or anything, but it was also like, man, this is everywhere. It's taken almost an hour to introduce there are so many characters in this movie, and there are so many stories that and upon second watch, I realized how much they do intertwine quite a bit. And I didn't know how I felt about it because it was kind of it was so big and I hadn't gotten traction on it, if that makes sense. Something happens in.
Oh no, what happened?
Something happens in.
But I don't know what happens.
Oh man, well, Michael just disappeared at the funniest possible time.
Yeah, I'm gonna message him and see.
Yeah, we'll
Hopefully
check.
his internet itself didn't.
Yeah. Hopefully he didn't get hit by a plague.
Oh, wouldn't that be funny?
That would be funny.
That timing couldn't have been more perfect.
Felt like it was on purpose.
I know. This is just one of
there's a second Michael.
Uh-oh.
We have a ghost Michael in here.
Yeah, I don't know. It popped up on my screen and just it disconnected me. Like something, I don't know. That was
the way you
weird.
The way you left was hilarious because you're like, something happened. Like
and bye.
Oh man. Comedic
anyway,
timing.
sorry. Edit that edit Drew in the future.
I'm gonna leave it in actually.
No. Yeah, so anyway, something happened. I don't know the exact moment of it, but in the second hour, there just comes a point where I was like, okay, I think I'm starting to roll with this a bit. And man, by the end, I was like, okay, I don't know how much I love this, but I think I love this. But there's so much going on. There's so much to catch that I knew I would need another watch. And so, but I did. I rewatched it again today, and I am so glad I did because not only do I get a lot of, I feel like I've missed, there was definitely, because it's so much, I did miss some things on my first viewing, and some things are more clear now just with the context of knowing what happens. It's like, oh wow, I did not notice that the first time. That's big. And then I also just appreciated the first hour way more this time because I know what it is, and I know what it's leading to, and I get it more. And so, this is just another of those plugs for rewatching movies is great. Mm-hmm. Rewatch movies, y'all.
Yeah.
I really do think, there's a lot of people say if a movie doesn't get you the first time, that's the filmmaker's fault. No, I don't think Paul Thomas Anderson meant for us to get all of this the first time. There is no way that you can. There's just not. And so I think you could watch this movie 20 times and get more every time that you missed the previous time. And so I freaking love this movie. And I think, there will be more viewings in the future. At this moment, I've only seen 2 Paul Thomas Anderson movies. It's this and There Will Be Blood. And to me, There Will Be Blood is still the gold standard of the 2 that I've seen. But this is this is freaking phenomenal, and I love it. It's very different than any movie I've ever seen, and it was very powerful. It was very, very powerful and moving. And so I can't wait to get into it more. But yeah, I love this movie, you guys.
Heck yeah. James, you being the resident evil, aka you are the biggest PTA fan of all time. What is this film to you, Jimmy Jam?
This is like one of 5 perfect films to me from him. He really is my favorite. It's funny. So the first time I watched this, it was before PTA was like my guy. This was the process of him becoming that, because I decided, I like the idea of taking directors with manageable filmographies and just going through. And so I started with Sofia Coppola. Highly recommend, by the way. She's phenomenal. So anyways, I started with her. I watched all through. Oh no, Michael's gone again.
Ghost Michael incoming.
Uh-oh.
Dang. Anyways, you should continue that thought real quick.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll let Michael join us back. Oh, Ghost Michael's back.
Oh my God. I don't know.
You're all right. It'll be all right. We'll fix it in post.
Hopefully my audio tracks make it over.
They should for sure.
But anyways, so I'd picked Paul Thomas Anderson, and I watched Hard 8, and I was like, this is really good. So I'm watching his earlier movies, and I get to Magnolia, and it was like just this whole I watched it while I was house sitting, and it was just me, and this is like a little over 3 hours. So this is the kind of movie that when you watch it in the evening, like this, or even if you start it in midday, it's going to be late evening when it ends. And so it's one of the kind of like movies that this is your day. If you had to do something earlier in the day, especially, this is going to be the rest of your day. And so this movie kind of defined the rest of that day. And just me by myself on the couch. And fortunately, my friend that I was house sitting for had a huge TV. So it was really just, it was a great experience. And I had never seen anything like it. From the opening minutes, I love the prologue to this movie so much. It's so weird. It's so cool to me. But from that, just the narrator describing these crazy events, all for the sake of just being like, can this be one of those things that just happens? I loved it. And then going into the song and they play like that whole song as we bounce from character to character to character to character. I was like, man, this is crazy. And yeah, so I basically we'll get more into it, but yeah, it ended and I was like, man, I've never seen Tom Cruise like this. This was early on Philip Seymour Hoffman for me. And so I was like, I love this guy. Maybe he's living up to the reputation. Seeing John C. Reilly in like a serious, like artistic movie is awesome. Like, it's just all of these phenomenal performances, incredible ambition, and just the kind of movie it's being, the ending being what it is, just so much. I fell in love with it, and I rewatched it probably 2 or 3 times since then, and it's just every time there's something that just sticks out to me, something that's just like, oh man. I think for as crazy and wild and out there as it is, I think it's got such insight and humanity to it, and there's a lot of like really, really beautiful moments that just kind of like affect me more and more every time I rewatch. So yeah, I freaking love this movie. It's one of them 50 movies in my top 10.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like that's all we ever talk about on here.
Yeah.
Not a complaint, by the way.
No, not at all. Yeah, it's so I remember I'm pretty sure I actually started watching a lot of PTA's work because you started going on that PTA watch. Like I think I started watching uh some of his films like roughly around the same time that you had watched Magnolia, which was like March 2021 or something like that.
Sounds about right.
And so the first PTA film that I saw was There Will Be Blood, which I think is I think that's the case for a lot of people, just because it's like the one that people talk about, and it's phenomenal, and it got me interested in his other films, and he he's like one of the most fascinating directors and writers to me because all of his films are so stylistically different, tonally different genres that he plays in, um and yet it still distinctly feels PTA. Even take the dialogue of Magnolia or like Licorice Pizza and compare that to the dialogue of Phantom Thread. They're going to be very different in the way that they're delivered, but you can still see like his distinct writing style. It still has that like very naturalistic feel to it. It's just one is way more understated while the other's like very chaotic. And they fit those films perfectly, but he's one of the few directors to me that uh, can have such a wide range of genre, style, whatever it may be. So it was just so much fun going through his entire filmography, and he like quickly became one of my favorite directors. I said this in the chat earlier, but I was like, if it weren't for Denis Villeneuve, like PTA would probably be my favorite director. Also, if it weren't for Inherent Vice, PTA would be up there for me for sure. But no, he really is like a close second favorite director of mine now. And Magnolia, so wildly different than any of his other work for so many reasons. Before we like kind of properly started this episode, James was talking about how this film is basically like 5 of like the character studies that we see in like PTA all in one film. And I think that's one of the things I love about this movie so much is like how PTA somehow has taken within 3 hours, tons of characters who each have an insane amount of depth to them. The first moment you see each of the characters that this follows, you instantly know who they are on the surface, but throughout the film you uncover like what's beneath that surface. And I think it's just masterful writing. So I don't know how this guy did this as his third film while he was still in his 20s. You think that this would be a film that like you're Martin Scorsese's age now, like you're in your 60s, 70s, 80s. This is something that you make after you've been working in Hollywood for like 20 years now. But PTA made this within the span of 3 years of his other 2 films, and I don't know how, because Heart 8, it's just it's a pretty simple crime drama,
It's really good.
and it's
But
really
yeah,
good.
it's-
Boogie Nights, a little bit more ambitious, but it's still kind of a little bit more like straightforward drama. But then there's this, and it is so out there artistically, that even you've got Siskel, who famously hated this movie, and Ebert and him debated about it, and it's like it
Ebert
was
loved it, right?
yeah, Ebert loved it.
there's a great video of him talking to somebody else who didn't like it. She was like, it's just, and then we get to the ending and what is this? I don't understand it. And he's like, I don't either. And I love that. How often do we get to see that? Like, he was just going on about it. He's like, I'm paid to watch movies all the time. And I was like, I've never seen anything like this. That makes me happy.
I watched that clip too. That made me really happy. I saw that exact clip. Yeah, he was like, everything, like, people want it to be like, they want all the stories to intertwine at the end and to like some climax where they all come together or whatever, which would be the thing that most movies would do, but this didn't really do that, and that's why I love it, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense, I like that. But yeah, I did not know though that Siskel didn't like it. That's interesting.
Man, and so
I wish I would have been. I always heard when I was a kid, Siskel and Ebert give it thumbs up, whatever, 2 thumbs up, but I never watched them or anything when I was a kid. I need to go back and watch some reviews and conversations of them, because I think it'd be really interesting.
Whenever I was working from home, there's a YouTube playlist that's literally just all of their old reviews together, and I would just go through all the reviews of the movies I'd seen, and it's really, really fun.
Oh, that sounds fun.
And I get super nostalgic too for it, just because I didn't even watch it back then, but just the vibes of it are so, late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, and their
So
conversations are so great too. Like, even I love Ebert. And I think Siskel was great too, but I disagree with a lot of their opinions on movies that I love. But I think the thing about them is, they were very respectable in their reviews. Even if you disagree with them, you're like, you know what? I actually respect them because they actually, are being honest, but also they give a heck about film criticism. They actually
they can articulate well why they don't like something or why they do like something or whatever. And I also like watching film critics that I don't agree with all the time, because they help me sharpen my opinion, even if it's not the same as theirs.
Yeah,
and so it's cool to watch. I'm gonna go through and watch some of their stuff. I think that'll be really fun.
Yeah, definitely recommend it. I need to do more myself, but all that I've seen with them, it's so much fun to watch.
They'd have been a great YouTube channel.
Yeah, or a podcast.
Yeah, seriously.
Just like this one. This one's pretty great.
Almost
too.
as good as this one, probably.
Exactly. But yeah, heck, guys, I don't even know where to exactly start with this, because this is a 3-hour epic gargantuan film of so many characters, so many themes, so many things working together. But I definitely want to highlight the intro real quick that James was talking about. But the opening minutes of this film, even the first time I watched it, I was just instantly locked in. Just the way that it moves from character to character to character, and how all of these random people who don't show up in aren't really consequential to anything in the film, but also it is so tied thematically and in other ways as well. I just love this butterfly effect of things happening, of well, this guy tried killing himself, and then this happened, and this happened, and this happened, which led to this. And then, if he wouldn't have gotten shot by the shotgun, then he would have lived because there was a safety net down there for him. And it's just
Patton Oswalt accidentally getting sucked up into a plane.
It's insane.
That was ridiculous.
But it's so good. What a way to open a movie. Yeah. And the fact that, again, it doesn't really, that those opening minutes don't really, matter in the grand scheme of things. Those are none of the characters that we see throughout the film. It's just a very bold way to open.
Yeah. Stylistically, I love it. It's such a choice, and it's so entertaining, and it does kind of prime you to be open towards the movie.
Yep.
Like you can feel the intent of like, I'm telling you, when this movie goes weird, when weird things happen, just remember what I told you.
Mhm.
This is sometimes these things happen, and I love the way they tie that back into it, like zooming in on the painting at the end.
Yep.
That says, "But it did happen." I love that, and then I love the narrator returning and just the line, you're like, "We see these things and we say, if that were in a movie, I wouldn't believe it." Like, I don't know, just this idea of just trying to get us into the headspace of like, accept all this stuff, accept that weird things can happen, and buckle up for a story. It's such a cool opening to me.
Yeah, and I like how we go a very long stretch throughout the film without any weird thing happening. It's like pretty normal stuff for a long while.
Yeah, any one of these would be their own like strong but conventional drama.
Yeah.
You take any one of these and focus it, and it's a drama.
I guess the weird thing is that there's so many of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think in a weird way, it kind of reminds me of, just in the sense that it feels like you could have done this movie without that opening and it still would have been awesome.
Yeah.
But it's good that it's there thematically, and it also primed you for the weird movie you're getting into. It kind of reminded me in that way of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Mhm.
It's not quite this. It's very, very different, obviously, but I just remember feeling similar. I was like, "What's with these monkeys?" I did not. What am I watching? I didn't think that I was going to be watching this. It turns out that was like my favorite part of the movie. I love that part of the movie now, but it did prime you for like, this is different than you were thinking it was going to be.
Yeah.
This is not Star Wars. This is not Alien. This is not anything like that. This is a whole different thing, and so I kind of felt that way watching this. I was like, and for that same reason, I was like, not sure how I felt about it the first time. I was like, okay, this is going to be weird. Let's see if I can go along this ride. And eventually I did. I hopped right on. And, but it was,
I see what you did there. Frog joke.
no, I was like, wow, what did I do? I don't know. As Brian says, so many frogs. But yeah, so I did feel similar though to that opening of 2001, just in the way that's like, this is not what I expected. What is happening right now? But I did really like what it did. Especially on the second watch, I was able to really see the thematic, all the things thematically that it was tying into the rest of the movie. And I also was just able to have fun with it, because even though it's like sad,
all of them are sad.
It's this
stories.
like upbeat thing, kind of like when we were talking about The Third Man.
Yeah.
That intro is like these really weirdly fast-paced intros that just like run right by these sad things, but it's, in a way, it was like this upbeat kind of feel, but also very sad. And so yeah, a very unique opening. I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And speaking of like things, it reminds me of just the subject of like the craft and the way this was made. Up until I watched Oppenheimer, this was the only movie I had watched that gave me the same sensation during it. In that, with most movies, even weird movies, there's still a sense of like, scenes feel like they have their own kind of rising, falling action. Like a scene feels like you can imagine that if you hit next on your remote, it's going to cut to the next scene, and you can imagine where that scene ends. And so if you hit next again, you can imagine where the next scene picks up. There's a kind of feel when like a scene ends and moves on. And I feel like from the beginning of the one is the loneliest number to the end, I lose any sense of scenes. It's just scenes start and it's like rising action, things are happening, and then it cuts to a one of the different narratives like mid action, and that's just going and going and going and going, and then we just cut. It feels like you took like 5 different 30-minute long scenes and you cut them all together, because none of these scenes end. You just like the kids going to the game show, and then we cut to a different narrative, and when we come back, he's sitting down at the game show as they're building up, and then we cut to a different one, and we go back to the game show, he's answering questions. Like, it's never like, this is a scene where he does this, and this is the scene where he does. It's like, no, his whole sequence is just, if you didn't interrupt it, you would experience it like a 30-minute short film that just begins and just rises up until the ending.
Mm-hmm.
And the same is, to me, it feels the same across all of the other narratives, where it's just like, if you watch it straight, it's just a whole long period of rising action. The scenes don't cut. We're just constantly building. And because it's taking that and then cutting and cutting and cutting between all these different narratives, it feels like there's no like kind of that kind of scene flow to it. It's just 3 hours of like, we're building, like just nonstop.
Yep.
And Oppenheimer was the only other movie that kind of feels the same way to me, where it's like the movie is so propulsive and is cutting between so many different time periods and narratives and everything, that I had that same feeling of like, I don't feel like scenes end. I think we're just constantly going up.
And it makes like, I don't say this in a derogatory way because I love 3-hour movies, but it makes the 3-hour like runtime feel very bearable. Like you don't think of like, at least for me, I'm like, wait, that was 3 hours?
Yeah.
No, that wasn't. And I felt that way when I watched Oppenheimer, and whenever I watched Magnolia, the same way. And even on rewatches where I already know where things are going.
Yeah.
But it's still like, I'm like, dude, that was the breeziest 3 hours I've ever experienced.
Yeah, this movie flies by.
It really does. I mean, there's a reason why for me to watch a 3-hour movie, and I love 3-hour movies, but watching a 3-hour movie once in a week for a podcast prep is like, that's me doing really good. I did it twice and it didn't feel like homework in any way. Like the first time when I was like not sure how I felt about the movie, you know, it was a little bit not homework, but I was like, I don't know how this feels. But yeah, man, like once I really got the traction going with the movie and was picking up a little more what it was laying down, it really did. Like, it really flew by. And then today when I watched it, I was like, I looked down at my clock and it was like 2 hours into the movie. I was like, what? Where did that go? And I was just enthralled. It's such a testament to his filmmaking. How it really is a skill to make 3 hours fly by. It really is.
For sure. But I think it would also, like, I think part of what makes it work is that there's not the obvious through line, especially not on first watch, but there is a sense that like each narrative has somewhere it's going in mind. You know, you don't ever, I think this would work a lot less if there were plots that just sat and didn't do anything. But I think all of them, especially again on rewatch, you really see the connections. Like I think William H. Macy's plot line and the whiz kid, or you know, I forget, Donnie the whiz kid, and then the new young whiz kid, like just those two are just the way they obviously pair with each other, and you're just seeing the potential for this kid in William H. Macy's character and in Donnie. And there are these little things that do tie them together that I think are really cool. Like in one of the scenes with Donnie, when he's kind of having his blow up at the bar, and the other gentleman at the bar who is like you shouldn't confuse children with angels, or no, it's dangerous to confuse children with angels. And Donnie's like, it is not dangerous to confuse children with angels. The next scene with like the new whiz kid, you've got that image of like he's at the podium and you've got like the angel wings on the design on the curtain behind him.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is like there's these little subtle things that just like you see it again, you're like, oh wow, these are actually more tied to each other than you really think first go through. And so there's always, I don't know, I think they feed in and out of each other in really strong ways.
And even with their two stories, like the whole idea of because like one of the like big themes throughout the film is, you know, like father, like I'd say like the best way to put it is like fathers letting their children down, and it's much more like messy than that in the film, but that's just like the, I don't know, easiest way that I can put it. And
the effect on that,
effect
that has
the effect it has on their child, and so in a way, like the old whiz kid, you are seeing like, okay, well, this is where the new kid can lead to. And then like the idea of like his parents, you know, they took all the money, they like kind of just left him to be on his own, and then at like near the end of the film you get the new whiz kid. His dad still doesn't care, like after all of this, and he's like, hey dad, we Mitch said PTA sucks. This guy is spitting right now. The new whiz kid is trying to get his dad's attention after a million frogs fall down from the sky, and his dad just like still doesn't care. And so I like this theme that's playing throughout the entire film. Like their story connects because their dads are letting them down. Their dads are abusive. Their dads are this. Their dads are that. And then you have the same thing happen with Tom Cruise's character. His dad like was just not there. And then the same thing, you get that with
Jimmy
Claudia.
Gator and
Claudia.
with Jimmy Gator and Claudia. Like all of their stories, all of the stories connect in so many ways. And whether it's thematic or whether it's the small like subtle details, I just don't know how this film works the way it does. And
there's that scene whenever Donnie has drank too much at the bar and he goes and he throws up. Like when he's got his face in the toilet, you hear him. He's reciting Exodus 25 about the sins of the father being visited on the sons. So that is like this theme running throughout, and I do like that we see different resolutions to it. Like the one, you know, with Tom Cruise and his dad, there is that sense of, it's kind of like his dad kind of gets that deathbed confessional, the repentance at the end of life, and Tom Cruise gets that closure. And weirdly enough, like as sad as that scene is, it feels like that is the one that we really do get that true sense of catharsis of the old man has admitted to his sins. You know, he's confessed his past, and the son whose life has been so shaped by the sin of his father is able to finally have some level of reconciliation. And, you know, you compare that to when you think of Donnie, it doesn't sound like his parents are I don't know if you get a sense that they're even alive or that there's any continuing conversation. It feels like that has been nipped in the bud. He doesn't get that at all. And then there's a question mark over the young game show kid, where part of me, like the optimist in me, wants to see like the pause between the two times he says go to bed, as if he's really trying to think on it, and he just can't bring himself to say anything. But there is some kind of change, maybe, but maybe not. Maybe we're kind of at the end of all of these other narratives, and you think maybe their story is the beginning of what will become Tom Cruise's story. Not obviously the same details, but maybe this is the beginning of a narrative that's going to end in a fractured relationship being healed. And then I think the Jimmy Gator one is that's the hardest of them all. Because the whole time, the whole movie, I've got such sympathy for him. Like his just the way he takes the abuse from his daughter. You're like, oh man, this father, like what could he have done? Watching him try to, make it through this game show. And
on top of that, like only having 2 months left to live.
Yeah. That's like, that's devastating in its own way. And then you get really the most horrifying of any of the abuse with his character, and that's its own giant bomb that's dropped on you.
The way that's revealed is, man, for one, incredible writing, but also the performances are just so good there. What's his name?
Philip Baker Hall.
Philip Baker Hall. I was about to call him Jimmy Baker Hall.
Everyone's Jimmy.
Everywhere. Yeah, there are a lot of gems in this movie. That's why James loves PTA.
That's so true, actually.
On one hand, you've been portrayed as the angel, and on the other, you've been portrayed as the devil in this. How do you feel about that?
Balance.
Perfectly balanced as all things should be.
Exactly. And one thing that I was gonna say, you have parents who haven't been great, and there's a lot of emphasis on toxic, fragile masculinity, whatever you want to call it, but then you also get characters who, male characters in this, who aren't affected by that, or they aren't living, they aren't following the footsteps of their fathers. So you get the GOAT, John C. Reilly, good old little Christian man.
Sorry,
he is such a he's so nice in this. He's worth criticism for sure. Or his own way of doing things and seeing things gets in his own way. When you go back, the little kid's rap spells it actually does spell everything out for him. And if he had he likes to think, I'm just the good cop that everybody trusts in the neighborhood, and just do that. It's like if he had the ears to actually hear his community, he would have heard it right there. But he doesn't have time, because this kid he falls outside of his nice conventional, this isn't the way a nice young kid comes and reports a crime. And so it's just, he doesn't see it. He doesn't hear it. And he doesn't even know that he doesn't see it. But dang it, he's still trying, and I love him.
Yeah. He's like Andy in Twin Peaks.
Wow. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less dumb.
Yeah.
But just as lovable.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I get so... Oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead, man.
I was just going to say, I get so sad when he's looking for his gun, and he's just coming off of the whole, Jesus said, "Here you go, Jim. I got an opportunity." And then he's just crying. Just the way he's pleading. It's when he's like, "God, I don't know why this is happening. Please tell me why is this happening to me right now? Please, please, I'll do anything. Just please, why?" I'm like, oh, this poor guy.
Yeah. it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I noticed going back through it the second time, something I just didn't, having the context of knowing the twist with Jimmy Gator, having that context, rewatching the movie again, watching that scene where he goes to her apartment. Man, I saw that totally differently this time around. I was like, I actually totally get why she's acting the way she's acting now. And the way that she was, she was kind of, she was acting, she was definitely like, she felt like she was acting out a lot. And like, really, the first time I watched it, I was like, why is she doing this? What is going on? And like, what could, like you said, James, what could he have done? But now this time through, it's like, no, this is her safe space. And all of a sudden she does not feel that way. She does not feel safe anymore. Like, and just some of the things she said, there's some, I can't remember all the lines, but something like, what are you going to call me crazy? Are you going to call me crazy? I was like,
Yeah.
that hits because of things that he says later in the film when he says, like, I don't know, she just says crazy stuff all the time. And she, like, he's clearly told her, you're being crazy. You're crazy for thinking that I did that and stuff like that. And so the things that, what are you going to call me a whore? Are you going to say I'm crazy? Like,
that was the other thing. It's like the two things she's saying is like, you're going to call me crazy and you're going to call me a whore and a slut. And you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh,
I saw it totally different this time. And the second time I watched it, I was like, dude, get out of her room. Like, get out. I feel much less sympathy for you this time around. And I totally understood where she was coming from. And man, her story is so heartbreaking. Like like you all said, I mean, it's just this story is the effect. It's showing different versions of the effects that our parents' choices have on us. And hers, I mean, she's got no self-confidence. She is just addicted, hardcore addicted to drugs. Can't go 5 minutes without them, it seems like, in the movie. And she can't let anyone in. And it is just so devastating, but it makes the ending. It makes the ending when she smiles like the most like beautiful thing ever. I just got chills thinking about it. It's so beautiful. So
and she doesn't correct me if I'm wrong, but she doesn't smile at all up until that point, right?
I feel like she does like fake smiles.
Yeah, there's
you know what I mean?
Then there's a couple of flashes of real smile on the date, but it's always marred. Like there's never a nice moment that lasts longer than 3 seconds, you know?
Yeah.
But
even the kiss ends and she's like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah, that, to me, that ending may have gotten me more. And I can't even really log this most recent watch because I did have to I didn't have time to watch the whole thing. So I had to kind of skip a little bit, which I hate having to do. But so it won't get the letterbox log for me, unfortunately. But weirdly enough,
I've already seen it.
Yeah, I know. But this ending maybe got me the most of any of the times, just because I think it's the gravity of it, of what's happened, really just hit me, and as well as just the gravity of what it means to break out of that, because it's such a depressing cycle, like because you can imagine, how many, quote unquote nice guys has she met before, and she's afraid of things working out, and so she falls back into this cycle. And you just get the sense that if she's left guys before, or guys have left, because the guy's leaving as we go into the movie, how often are they going to do what she and Jim have promised each other, like to just be honest and to stick with it through the honesty, no matter what they say. And so for her to like return to her apartment, return to the drugs, return to all of this, and just be sitting in her bed back where she was, and for him to open the door, it's the polar opposite of her dad walking in.
So good.
It's like it's the opposite of what presence her dad brought to that room. And so for him to enter in, and you hear a little bit of the dialogue, and you can tell he's saying like, I know, it's all out there now, or not all out there, but like there's nothing that you're gonna say that's gonna make me change my mind. And for that shot to just continue to close in on her before she just looks and smiles at the camera, I'm like, it's just like, it's so freaking beautiful and redemptive and hopeful.
Yeah.
I love it so much. And I also love that it's like one of the 3 moments in the movie where just the reality of the movie is just kind of punctured by something. Just like you've got the scene where everybody just sings this Amy Mann song together in these kind of moments of clarity or revelation or confession, or something's happening that's important as everybody's singing this, and it's like this transcendent little puncture into their reality that's just doing something. And then the frogs falling, obviously, and then this last like turn to the camera and stare. It feels like, I don't know, the grim reality is just kind of being poked through by something beyond, and it's just like it's some kind of breakthrough is happening in their lives. And I don't know, it's so weird, but I just freaking love it.
Dude, the frogs, the first time that I watched it, the frogs was like, what is this movie? This is I really thought this might be the weirdest movie I've ever seen. On second watch, it was much less weird, but I think I was just in it,
Yeah.
I was just along for the ride.
But it did happen.
It did happen.
It did. Yeah, when I saw that the first time, my jaw was on the floor. I was like, "There's no way this did that just actually happen?"
We're way too close to the end of a 3-hour movie. This stuff's not allowed to happen like this.
Exactly.
It's terrifying too.
It is.
They're like coming through windows and stuff. It's like it really is biblical.
Yeah. No. There's so many, like, obviously there's multiple Bible quotes in this, and then this being like literal, like biblical kind of imagery and stuff. But I also think like thematically too, you have like this whole theme of like reconciliation, like forgiveness and stuff. The sins of your father. There's so much in this film that like really feels biblical, in a way that like I don't see super often. The whole frog thing, I said it in our group chat, but I'm like, the only other time I've ever like seen something like that or felt something like that was with Nope. And Michael, have you seen Nope?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. Spoiler alert for Nope, if anyone hasn't seen it. The UFO basically being like a biblically accurate angel almost. Like I haven't like felt like that kind of like dread of like this like cosmic unknown, very like biblical kind of sense of dread that you get in this film and in Nope. And like I love just how, I don't know, like I've talked about it before, the unexplained is like, when it comes to like scary things or horror or whatever, that to me is the most terrifying. So like when I just see a bunch of frogs falling down from the sky and there's no explanation for it, I'm like, that's really scary.
These are big frogs, and like the sound design is emphasizing like, it's definitely, there are moments that are funny, obviously, with it. Like it's raining frogs. You've got Philip Seymour Hoffman just being like, why are frogs falling from the sky? But like when they hit with thuds, and like whenever cars are rolled over, like they're bloodied on the top, and like
Yeah.
they're breaking through the window. Like it's
The effects for this hold up really well too.
They
Like it's
do.
They
very
really do.
convincing.
yeah, and like whenever Claudia's mom gets there, like she's having to run in, and they are screaming together. It's like, what on earth
Yeah.
is happening here? Yeah, but what a wild moment. It took me so by surprise the first time.
The song happens before the frogs, right? Am I
Yes.
right about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think part of the reason why it all like, even though undeniably really weird choice for sure, but I think one of the reasons why I was able to eventually go along with it was, I mean, we've already had the super weird intro to the movie. We've already had them break reality and sing a song, the same song at separate, like a la a musical would.
Yeah. And Earl Partridge is singing in his bed.
Why not frogs falling from the skies?
But
I
it
mean,
all happened.
they've already broken reality. I'm gonna, let's see where this ride takes us. But it was weird. It was definitely weird.
Yeah.
Genuinely scary. I was like, when it wasn't even like just the cars, it was like coming through the apartment windows and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, is there a headwind now? Like, is it blowing them horizontally?
It is. This is a storm, man.
Terrifying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When the one hits William H. Macy's face and he falls and his teeth hit the ground, and he actually does need oral surgery.
Mm-hmm. What kind of surgery?
That whole bit cracks me up. Like whenever he says, like, this is the absolute worst time for you to be doing this. I've got my oral surgery. And they're like, let me see your teeth. He's like, no, you don't need surgery. Your teeth are fine. Just the way they keep trying to be like, you don't need oral surgery.
That was so funny.
Fun little bit role for Alfred Molina there.
Mm-hmm. That's another thing. Like, there's so many like little roles in this film, and like everyone is so great in each of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking like, it's not a little role because he is involved in his side of the narrative pretty heavily, but Philip Seymour Hoffman as Phil,
man,
is, I hate, like, I had heard of his name, and I had probably seen him in Hunger Games before he died, but I didn't really realize what we lost until after he passed. Because then, as I started watching his bigger roles, and I was like, oh my gosh, we truly did lose like an all-time legend. This guy, again, he's not like one of like the main guys here though, but he leaves one of the biggest impressions on me every time, just because of like how, like, what his perspective is. Like, everybody else is right there in the thick of everything, and he's just kind of there as a kind observer, trying to like smooth along reconciliation and be there in any way he can. And like, he's doing all of this to try to reconcile Earl with the son. And then I feel a bit of sting every time Julianne Moore's character hangs up the phone that he's been patiently waiting on for like an hour. And then she comes to apologize and hugs him. And he's just like, he is seeing what she is going through and has seen what Earl is going through. And he's just there crying. There's this look. So he's crying as she's apologizing, and then she's like, "I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go," and she walks away, and he kind of has this, like, he's looking around, like he's almost just not surprised, but he's just like, "What? Where am I? What have I gotten myself into?" And he's just like, he's crying, and then the last bit that you get from him in the whole movie is when he goes over to wake Tom Cruise's character up to say, like, hey, the person who's technically like your stepmom, I guess, is in the hospital and you need to talk to her. And then he turns away and he just goes and he starts to make up Earl's bed. And then he just starts sobbing as he's making it up. And you're like, this poor guy worked an extra shift. He turned down his relief when he showed up at night. And he's like, I'm gonna wait this one out. And he's exactly he is exactly the person that people in these really traumatic, touchy, sensitive situations need. Those situations need a Phil who's just going to show up there and be like,
Mhm.
I'm just here to help. Like, what do you need? What can I do? Do you need somebody to listen? Do you need somebody? Do I need to get somebody for you? And I feel so much for him every viewing because he's just such a sweet guy.
Yeah. You could say that Phil needed to fill a void.
No, he was
True.
yeah, he was filling their void. Well,
All right. That's actually for Tom Cruise's character. Okay. Man.
Yeah, he's incredible in this, and he's incredible in everything I've ever seen him in. But
Synecdoche, New York.
I need to
Watch
see
it. That's an all-timer for him.
is that a movie?
Yeah, it's a Charlie Kaufman film.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, but just what I have seen him in, he can just cover everything. He can do every. I think this is the
He's
most
got it all.
likable. He's got it all. He can do it all. I think this is the most likable I've ever seen him in a movie. Like, he was kind of in a way, the heart of this movie. And a lot of the other stuff he's been in, I mean, he's like the down in Moneyball, he's the downtrodden, like, lost the love of the game manager who's like, just get me out of here, like, blah, and he plays it perfectly. And in Mission Impossible, he's the greatest Mission Impossible villain ever. And
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's terrifying in that movie, and he's so freaking good. Another one with Tom Cruise.
yeah.
I love that they got to interact in this. That was
I've
fun.
never even put
Yeah.
that together.
Yep. Just a couple years later, they were doing Mission Impossible together. I bet you Tom Cruise was just like, get this guy. He can do it all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just all the different, and then Hunger Games. He's great in Hunger Games. I'm not a big Hunger Games guy, but he's very, very good in it. And so yeah, he can just really. I want to watch more of his stuff. He's in more Paul Thomas Anderson movies.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
He's in Punch Drunk Love. He's in a scene in Heart 8. He's got one scene, and just from that one scene alone, you're like, this guy, this is a good actor, man. And then, yeah, in The Master, it's
Okay, cool. So Punch Drunk Love and The Master. Okay, cool. So you guys have got me in a PTA mood, so I'm gonna keep watching. I think I'll do Punch Drunk Love next.
I'm hoping you're like, that's another weird movie.
Yeah, you're going from
I'm in
one
it
weird
now.
to the next weird.
I'm in it now.
Yeah, I'm letting you know now. I've probably said on the pod, but
I'm not expecting like Hitch or something.
it took me 2 watches with Punch Drunk Love to like really be like, okay, this is awesome. And then it took me a 3rd watch to be like, this is actually a masterpiece.
Dang. Well, we'll see. We'll see how I feel. But I feel like I'm in the headspace to take in more PTA films now. Having just watched 6 hours of it.
Yeah. Brian also shouted out that Hoffman is in Boogie Nights. I forgot about that too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's in a lot of PTA.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's why he cast his son.
It would have been incredible if he was still around and still working with PTA.
He was really on his way to being like the best of all time, wasn't he?
The thing is,
like at least one of them.
I think he already is one of the best of all time.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
because between this but definitely The Master, and even like I said, his bit roles, like he's so funny in Punch Drunk Love to me, and I haven't seen Synecdoche, New York, but I've heard he is phenomenal in that, and I've heard he is phenomenal in Capote.
Yeah, I heard that too.
There are movies he's in that I haven't seen yet, and I'm already like on the train of he's one of the all-time greats, and I haven't even seen some of the performances that are supposed to be phenomenal.
Gosh,
He's in the Big Lebowski. I still haven't seen that.
I didn't even know he's in
He's
that.
in that?
Holy cow.
Gosh,
Yeah.
I need to watch that again. It's been a long time. But yeah,
And
anyway,
he's also in Twister. He's great in Twister.
Yeah, he's funny. He's fun and Twister.
He really can do everything.
y'all, 1999 was a cool year for movies. I
It really was.
I was just kind of thinking
Yeah.
about it. It really had it all. Phantom Menace, The Matrix, this. I mean, there's more too. I'm blanking, but like I feel like every time we cover a movie or something, I'm like, wow, another one from '99, crazy.
Yeah.
Something else, like one of the things I'd mentioned to y'all that like was an idea that was like kind of proto present the first time I saw it, and that just stuck out to me more and more on rewatches, is that like this is a very confessional movie. That like, and all of this time, like all of the different, you can say like there's multiple themes, but they all are related to each other, where there's the idea of, you know, the past that, you know, on multiple occasions you're hearing like, it's like the book says, you may be through with the past, but the past ain't through with you. Like you have characters just saying that. And so there's that, you know, the sins of the father, and so all of this, it's all has to do with like history and what's happened in your past. And it occurred to me how many times in this movie we're just seeing characters sitting in front of another character and pouring out confession and their past. Like you've got Julianne Moore's character being like, I married him for money. I was with all these other guys. And then eventually she truly came to love him, you know, and is now that he's, and the way that this kind of in an asymmetric way mirroring what he did, where, you know, he leaves when his wife was sick and now his new wife stays as he's sick. But you have this moment of her, you know, talking to the lawyer, confessing all of this and saying, I can't take this money. You know, I would feel guilty taking this money. This is everything I've done. And then you've got Earl Partridge talking to Phil, saying, I cheated on my wonderful wife of 20 years and then I left her. And then you've got like the idea of both Jim and Claudia agreeing, like, let's put it all out, let's confess everything to each other right here at the beginning. So there's all of these moments of just like people, and then you've got, I think it's most interestingly seen in Jimmy Gator, where he is he's stepping into this same confessional role that everybody else has been in, you know, and he's like, I think maybe you knew, so I hope this isn't just so that I feel better, you know, but, you know, I cheated on you and blah, blah, blah. And the look on his wife's face, I'm convinced that she, on some level of consciousness, had felt that he had done what he had done and maybe had buried it herself, but was still knew it and was waiting for him to confess to it. That's the feel that I have, because whenever he confesses that he cheated on her, and he's in step with all of these other people who are having these moments of confession, and he stops there and he's like, there, now you know. There's this look of disappointment on her face when he says it, and you think maybe it's disappointment that he's confessing he cheated on her. But on rewatch, especially looking at that, it feels like she felt like he was about to finally come clean about everything, and he doesn't. And she is like, I feel like she had to know, because she says in a very different tone, why do you think Claudia doesn't talk to you anymore? And the thing that's so important to me is like everybody who confesses something has somewhat of a happy ending. Like Earl is reunited with his son at his deathbed, sure, and he's not completely lucid, but he does get this last moment. Julianne Moore, the ambulance is called and she's saved. You know, she doesn't die, she doesn't end her life. All of this stuff is happening, and there's some level of catharsis. And like the one person who doesn't get that in the whole movie is the person who can't bring that confession to completion. Like she's saying again and again, did you just say it? And it's like, I don't remember. And she's like, yes, you do. You just can't say it. And it's like in our group chat, Drew had sent the whole final monologue from John C. Reilly about, about forgiveness. And there's that great time where that great line when he just says, what can you forgive? And there's a pause. And in my mind, I think as awful, I don't think there's, to me, you hit rock bottom when you're dealing with kids. Like that is the lowest of the lowest of the low of crime.
Yeah.
But to me, I think the movie would have extended, not like, I think it would also said, and sometimes people have to go to jail, and I think it would have extended that to him as well.
Yeah.
But I think if he confessed to it, the movie would have extended forgiveness to him and some kind of reconciliation. But it's the fact that he can't even confess to it that the house burns down with him in it, and he never gets any sort of moment of reconciliation because he can't be honest to himself.
Because the frog hit the gun.
The frog hit the gun. Yeah. And it lit the place on fire. But to me, that stood out to me. That like it feels like the movie is saying that there's some kind of power in being honest about this. Because if our kids are, part of the result of like all of our choices, then just being honest about the part we played and confessing to them and asking forgiveness from them has to have some kind of power in it, and breaking that kind of cycle. And so I don't know, it seems important to me that he can't admit it. And because he can't admit it, he doesn't get that kind of forgiveness and reconciliation.
That's so freaking good, dude.
Yeah.
And I mean, even William H. Macy's character, he confesses it to a cop.
Yeah.
He confesses like, I stole this money. but I love how that monologue ties, his ending monologue there ties into it. And he just gave him grace there. Yeah. And was like, some people deserve to go to jail. And some people, I don't remember the exact quote, but I just love that he walked into the store and just walked with him as he put the money back.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's just down on his luck, man. This guy just needs someone to listen to him.
That line, I've got so much love. I just don't know where to put it.
I know, that broke my heart. Because the reason the movie gave for him being so like off now is because he got struck by lightning. Is that what they said?
He got
struck by lightning, and he's like, he keeps saying, now I used to be smart, now I'm stupid. Like, and it's because he got struck by lightning, and that's like really sad. Like,
and now he's just like, he's a guy whose whole life is a couple of fun facts. You're the quiz kid. You the guy who got struck by lightning.
And he hasn't moved past it. He's just he's living off of his celebrity from that to the point
that celebrity is all he has because he doesn't even have the money. So like that kind of pop quiz name recognition is all he has to his name.
But yeah, he confesses and he like goes and puts the money away, and and Jim is just like, let me know if you seriously, let me know. I know a guy about an oral surgeon or whatever. This whole movie, he's been talking about getting his teeth done. That made me laugh so hard the second time. I don't know why. The first time that didn't really click with me, but the second time I was like, oh my god, that's so funny and sad.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, him, and even the kid, the new version of William H. Macy's character, having that moment with his dad. Like, even if his dad doesn't do what he's asking him to do, you have to be nicer to me, Dad. Even if he doesn't do that, the fact that he is standing up for himself is putting him on a good path, And so, like, even that was like, no, he may not. Maybe it's very ambiguous. Like, maybe not. Maybe, hopefully his dad turns it around. But even if he doesn't, this kid might be strong enough to endure it, because he did have this moment of catharsis,
Yeah.
And so I thought even he, like, he didn't confess necessarily, but he had a moment where he revealed what he was feeling.
Yeah. Well, and
Mhm.
he's on the other, like, if we're thinking about it in terms of like confession, he's on the other side of the confession. He's the
Sure, yeah,
person
yeah.
who needs to hear his father's confession.
Right,
And
right.
we're kind of left up in the air as to whether he'll ever hear that.
Mm-hmm.
But I like what you're saying, though, that like he's already severed a perfect one-to-one between him and William H. Macy, because he, in some weird way, participated in what still to me just feels like this moment of like just transcendent ability to see things in stark relief. Like there's something to me that's meant to be communicated in the shot of just him in the library looking out. As I love the shot, the silhouettes of the frogs on the window falling behind him, and he is the one who's saying, this is something that happens. This is something that happens. So it feels like he has some level of clarity going forward that Donnie just wasn't able to have as a child, not due to any fault on his own. It feels like there's some sort of moment of grace granted to this new kid in this moment in time.
Yeah. And that story in general too, that it really hit me more the second time, like when I understood what was going on with the game show and all that stuff. By the way, Luis Guzman, I just love him in anything ever. I love him so much.
There's whenever the lady starts shouting at him, like telling him to quit it with the kids, it's just he the way he's, all right, Miss Lady. The way he says that cracked me up.
It's so good. But like, man, like he kept asking, like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and eventually just peed his pants. It's like the saddest thing, and he can't go stand in front of the camera now. Oh, it's so sad. And the kids keep like not doing anything other, like they're just riding his coattails. It's so much pressure, and I love that moment. I don't know the dialogue, I don't have the lines in front of me, but the what he says to Jimmy in that one moment where he's like, what is that?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I was like, wow, that was awesome.
And Jimmy's just like, I don't know,
kid.
I don't know.
Like, yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Man,
there's so many other like lines and moments that are still relevant to this. Like this really is thematically super cohesive, because like I'm looking at my notes, and there are notes that I have that I didn't, or that are mostly just quotes that I put that I don't even realize how tightly packed all of this stuff is together in terms of like the past and being able to be honest about the past. Like there's the line from whenever Tom Cruise is getting confronted by the interviewer, and he's got the line where he's like facing the past, because she keeps trying to bring up the past. And he's like, oh, it's so boring. Trust me, we don't have to. And then he says, facing the past is an important way of not progressing forward. The most useless thing is that which is behind me. And it's just like, he is his own worst enemy when it comes to like what's needed. What this movie is saying, the opposite of everything that he's saying. It's like, you will find peace if you can confront the past. And and everything about the rule book that he's making is the polar opposite. You know, shut the past off. It's keeping you from
Mhm.
moving forward. And then, but like multiple other characters are saying, you know, like you may be through with the past, but the past ain't through with you.
Yeah.
So good. So good. It's just crazy to me how interconnected it is. Because I've seen people talk about the film before, and they're like, I mean, the stories like aren't really that interconnected because they don't all like converge at the end, but they really do. Like every aspect of these stories connects in some way. And
I feel like they thematically all converge very obviously in a lot of ways, but I do think they it's like they all do connect, even if it's a minor connection.
mhm.
But like it's not like they all end up in the same place, and like I feel like people
Yeah.
wanted all
Yeah.
of them to eventually end up in the same place and meet each other or something, you know what I mean? And so I think that's what a lot of people are saying, and I'm glad they didn't do that.
They
I'm
should
glad
have
they didn't.
all ended up in the same place and then sang another song all together at the same time.
Dude, I would have been for that actually. Let's make it happen.
Honestly though.
Earl wakes up from the dead. He just starts singing with them. Yeah, man.
I will drop kick those effing dogs if they come near
So
me.
funny.
And
I
he
love
doesn't
that
just
he
say it
says-
once.
I love he
it
says it
before he
twice,
walks
dude.
in, and then when he's inside, he says it again, and it's just Tom Cruise needs to do more comedy, man.
Dude,
He's
seriously, I was saying this to y'all earlier, but like I think Tom Cruise is a great actor. I really do. But I feel like over the last couple of decades, he's obviously done a lot more of a certain kind, like one kind of movie. And he's like the best at that kind of movie. But I always am watching those movies and it's like, yeah, this is Tom Cruise. Like, I love Tom Cruise, but he's doing Tom Cruise. And it's great. But I don't feel like I'm watching Tom Cruise in this movie. He's a psychopath. Like he's a different person in this movie. His eyes, what he does with his eyes is very different for him. I just feel like there's something, and he's like lost in this character. When he's like in his underwear doing backflips in front of the lady interviewing him, I'm like, who is this person? Yeah. This is hilarious, and he
dodge
really
left
is.
and right.
Yeah, like chill down, doggy. Like he really is like a wild animal in a lot of ways. Like giving
Tom, tame the Cruise.
That's great. But yeah, he's amazing in this, and you know he's amazing in like Jerry Maguire. He's so good in Jerry Maguire.
Still haven't seen that.
I would love to cover that on this sometime.
I really want to watch that.
It's great. He's so good, and we say lines like in pop culture because that movie exists. There's like show me the money,
yeah,
and like there's a bunch of lines that like you had me at blah blah blah. That's all from that movie. It's iconic, but he's great in it, like really really good. I know I've only seen it once, but it was right after I had my wisdom teeth pulled out, so I was definitely on pain meds. But I saw Tropic Thunder, and I remember he is like a crazy person in that too.
He's so funny in it.
He's incredible.
I rewatched it like last year or the year before.
I need to rewatch it, but I do remember him being just iconic, you know. So I want him to do more of this
Color
stuff.
Money.
He's great in Color of Money.
I've never seen that.
And I've heard he's amazing in A Few Good Men.
I was just about to mention that one.
Never seen that one either. Yeah, I need to watch some old Tom Cruise stuff.
Like Born on the 4th of July. He was a full-on dramatic actor for a
He
long
was.
Yeah.
I mean, he did Rain Man.
Yeah.
With Dustin Hoffman. He did Far and Away. not a great movie, but he did an Irish accent in that one. That was fun. But no, he's an amazing actor. I would love to
He
see
also
him
did
return
the
to that.
Mummy. Whoa.
I never saw that,
I
honestly.
never did either.
Don't have much desire to.
But I'm with you. Like, it's time for like that late stage return to drama.
Let's
He's got
see
it in
it.
him.
He's got it in him. He really does.
He does.
Like, and he's got the comedy in him too, like y'all were saying. He's so
Honestly,
funny.
How could he not see Dwayne Johnson having a 15-minute standing ovation for the Smashing Machine or Smashing Man, whatever it's called?
Smashing Machine.
The Smashing Man. Smashing.
Smashing.
But how could he not see that and be like, all right, it's time again. I need it. I need it so bad.
Yeah.
Get him in a PTA film again.
I have the line, by the way, from Stanley, the little kid, that I was just talking about. He says, "This isn't funny. This isn't cute. See the way we're looked at? Because I'm not a toy. I'm not a doll. The way we're looked at because you think we're cute? Because what? I'm made to feel like a freak if I answer these questions, or I'm smart, or I have to go to the bathroom? What is that, Jimmy? What is that? I'm asking you that." Like, I'm not sure, Stanley. Like, I was just like, whoa, this is awesome. Go,
Yeah.
Stanley. Ugh, kids aren't wind-up monkey toys.
Yeah. And you just what's crazy is like this is a kids game shit. This is before what's like the dancing moms or whatever. What is it? What's the dancing one?
Dancing with the Stars?
No, it's
Dancing
the
with the
one,
Moms?
no, it's the one with like the moms that have like their kids in all the dancing competitions, and
Oh, God, I don't know. Sounds unhealthy.
it is unhealthy. Like it's famously unhealthy. But
Ooh, sorry. Brian says Tom Cruise's other 1999 movie was Eyes Wide Shut, which I need to watch also. I've never seen
Same.
that.
One of my few Kubrick blind spots. I also, since we're still talking about Tom Cruise, I also really want to see Days of Thunder. I know it's not like a great movie.
Yeah, I
but
want to see it too. Yep,
I've
do
heard
too.
it's still awesome.
I feel like it would be up my alley, to be honest. It feels like
Yeah.
it.
I enjoy some Tony Scott, so definitely.
what is it? Which one?
Days of Thunder.
Oh yeah, I want to watch that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise
So
can do it all, and I need him doing it all again.
true. Was there anything else that you guys wanted to highlight that we didn't really talk about? I think we kind of like covered a lot more than I was expecting in a shorter amount of time than I
I
was
think we're just pretty good.
Yeah.
I just realized, did y'all know there's a person in the movie, and it's the guy that Donnie talked to at the bar, the old guy.
Mm-hmm.
His name in the movie is Thurston Howell. Have y'all watched Gilligan's Island?
Yes. A few episodes.
The rich guy in Gilligan's Island's name is Thurston Howell III. I think it's really weird. I think that's really funny that his name is Thurston Howell. Shout out Thurston Howell. What a funny shout out there. That's so great.
Brian said the reality show is called Dance Moms.
Okay, that's
Okay.
what I was thinking. Yeah.
Gotcha.
See, I know that actor. He plays in the Tom Hanks comedy The Burbs. Which is
I've not seen that in a long time. It's been
yeah,
very
he's one of the neighbors.
Oh,
I liked him. He was.
gosh,
He's got some great lines in this.
He's got a very unique face.
He has a very unique face and a very unique like cadence and just way of talking, and they've got really great dialogue back and forth at the bar. There's some really great lines, like William H. Macy when he's going, I confuse melancholy with depression, and then he says, I'm I'm sick and I'm in love, and the other guy just goes, "You seem the kind of person who confuses the two."
Mm.
Like their back and forth is so good.
Yeah.
Random. Tom Cruise is going to be I can't remember how you pronounce his last name. Alejandro Gonzalez, who
Inarritu?
did Birdman. Yeah.
Nice.
The Revenant. And some other stuff. He's going to be the lead in his next film, which comes out next year.
Cool.
And it's a comedy drama.
Okay.
Okay.
This is exactly what we wanted.
Exactly.
Hopefully, we'll see.
Yeah. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we might be back.
I guess. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I feel like I've covered most of what I wanted to say. I think we could probably talk another couple hours about this movie if we went like super detailed into each story, but like I need to watch it some more to be
Let's get
honest.
one more rewatch, man, and reconvene. Yeah. I was gonna say one of the lines that always sticks out to me every time is whenever Phil is on the phone and he's like, "I know this sounds silly. Like this is the scene in the movie where the guy is trying to get a hold of the long lost son, you know, but this is that scene." And I think they have those scenes in movies because they're true, because they really happen. See, this is the scene in the movie where you help me out. And it feels like that's a lot of the movie right there, where it's like, it is being such a movie. It's so stylistic. It's the artifice is right in your face.
Mm-hmm.
It's not trying to make you be like, oh, I felt it was almost like a documentary. Like you just feel like you watch. It's so movie. Yeah, but it doesn't feel like it
doesn't shy away from the reality.
Yeah, it's saying like the artifice of it all, the moviness of it all doesn't take away from the reality of like the truth behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's super fun, stylistic, crazy, weird movie that's telling you that it's good to like be honest and to confess and to forgive and so it's like
even the raining frogs that happened.
It did. Yeah, it's based off of a really weird true story.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I love that line of him of whenever he's like, they're not made up for movies. They appear in movies because they happen in real life.
Yeah.
I don't know. That I always like that line every time I rewatch it.
And it's one of those lines that I feel like it could have come across as like really corny, but the way it's like performed and delivered with Philip Seymour Hoffman, but also just the direction, the way it's written. If it were in the hands of anyone else, I would have been like, you did not just say that in this movie. But it works so freaking well.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, I guess that about brings us to the end of this episode, which I'm really impressed with how we were able to like wrap this up in under 2 hours.
We did it.
We did it. So yeah, before we go,
ratings.
Yeah. Michael, give us that rating.
So the first viewing, I had it at 4 because I know that I really liked it a lot, but I didn't know how much. And I also figured a rewatch would help. And after my rewatch, I bumped it up to a 4.5 star. So who knows? Maybe after the next one, it goes up to 5. We'll see.
Up to 5. Yes,
we'll see. I mean, because there's not a lot about it that I just don't like anymore. It's just a matter of there's still so much. There's so much to this movie. And I feel like I need more of my head wrapped around it to give it 5 stars, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Similar to how I feel about 2001: A Space Odyssey again. I gave that one a high score, but I don't know what happens. I need to watch that one again. The ending lost me a bit. Yeah, so I feel like I grasped this one a lot more thematically, and it's really powerful and emotional, which is right up my alley. So yeah, I have a good feeling that I'll bump it up even more, but 4.5 stars right now. Freaking loved it.
Heck yeah. I'm glad. I'm really glad that you loved it.
Yeah, dude. I was I was a little nervous.
Yeah. I know it's a weird one, but I'm a fan of like weird movies like that. So it's cool. It's cool to be like, yeah, I got Michael who loves Love and Thunder to love this movie.
I kind of like Love and Thunder. Y'all got to stop that. You're
It's
putting
too
me
much
on
of a
blast,
meme
and it's
now.
not true.
It'll never die.
It's been a while since I made the joke, so I had to bring it up. All right.
It's in the bottom tier of my MCU ranking. It's not a favorite, but y'all act like it is.
All right, Jim, give us that rating.
This is a 5 for me. It's just, it is. I loved watching Ebert talk about it because he puts things in ways a lot of the time that I wouldn't be able to put into it, which is just like there's some there's movies where you go, you get your 3 acts, this happens, this happens, this happens. It's well done. It's a good time. You leave, you're happy. You ate some popcorn. And then there are movies like this where it's just something important is happening. It is a artistic swing for the fences. He's just pouring all of this thoughtfulness about generational divide and trauma and forgiveness and grace and reconciliation. And while telling that, he's pulling together this massive ensemble of phenomenal performances. And it's just like, between just the thoughtfulness and the writing, there's so many lines where you just read the line and you're like, ooh, wow, that's great. And you combine that writing with just, we didn't even talk a lot just about the direction itself, but I think this movie is so freaking well directed to take over 3 hours. It's like 3 hours, 10 minutes of all of these different plots, and to direct it where each one has its own real sense of direction, and you can cut between.
Mm-hmm. The editing is just
the editing is bonkers. It feels like one wrong edit, and it feels like you trip. Like you're like, whoa, hold on, something wasn't. It moves exactly as it's supposed to. It's a movie that just makes me freaking love movies. That's like, dang, I haven't seen another Magnolia, I tell you that much. And I'm glad of that. Not because I don't want another one, but because that means that I get to be like, dude, have you ever seen Magnolia? This movie is different and out there, but boy, it's phenomenal.
Yeah. And I really like that, even though we don't have another Magnolia, with weapons, Magnolia being one of the biggest inspiration, a lot of people are going to go back and watch Magnolia now, which is super exciting. Because that movie just deserves as much love as it can get. But yeah, I'm obviously at 5 stars. I said this is in my top 5. Like,
what?
I can't not have it at 5 stars. Man, even after this conversation tonight, there's like still things that I'm like, man, I didn't think about it that way. I didn't think about this that way. Or I didn't notice that while watching it. And that's one of the beautiful things about this film, because of how much is in it, with it being a 3-hour film. I could rewatch this a million times and like still discover something new. So yeah, the power of rewatch is right there.
Rewatch movies.
Yeah.
Come on. Do it.
Watch Magnolia, rewatch it. It's awesome. But yeah, between the way it's directed and edited, the performances, and then like with the themes, as I mentioned before, I really like the weird stuff with the frogs and having like this very like biblical feel to everything with that. I think there's also that element in the film where, with that, they lean into the unexplained, and that there's just things in life that happen and you literally cannot explain it. And I think that's just another one of those things that, PTA is like, yeah, like, you know, these things, why we have stuff like that in movies and stories is because, you know, they actually do happen sometimes. So um I don't know, I love this film. There's so much to unpack with it, and it lives in my head rent free all the time. um so it was so much fun being able to chat about it on the stream. um But anyways, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. So if you aren't already in our Facebook discussion group, it is Banter Fodder, a film and television discussion group. It's in the link tree below. Go join our community there, talk about movies, chat about what you've been watching lately, and all that good fun stuff. Also, follow us on Spotify and Apple if you want to listen to the audio versions of the pod, or if you're listening to that right now. Make sure to sub on there. Also, hit the 5 stars. And then if you aren't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, do that as well. We live stream almost every week. But yeah, we like to live stream as often as we can. And then, you know, go watch some movies on the big screen, support your local theaters, buy the concessions. And until next time, one thing. Our next episode,
Oh,
Michael's pick, The Last of the Mohicans.
let's go. Yep.
I'm excited. This will be
Very-
a first time watch for me.
Yep.
Very
Honestly, yep. That's one of the reasons I picked it, because I knew James hadn't seen it, and I told you guys earlier, the main theme musically has been randomly popping into my head this week, and I was like, that's a sign. That's the one. We're going with it. And even if another one pops into my head, that we're sticking with Last of the Mohicans. So I'm excited. We've been wanting to cover a Michael Mann film on this podcast for a while anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm excited, and this one is, they don't. I think you said it last time, Drew. When you watched it for the first time,
Yeah.
I think you said they just don't make movies like this anymore. They really don't, and
They don't.
It's a great period piece, man. It's so good. I'm so excited for James to get his first viewing of it.
I'm stoked
First
for
viewing,
it.
another Michael Mann film that's big, and another DDL film that's big.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
it's great music. You're gonna be happy. I think at the very least, I think you'll enjoy it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have no doubt. There's no doubt
Yeah.
to me.
Jim's about to be the biggest hater of it of all time.
Yeah.
Highly doubt.
All right. Anyways, though, go watch some movies on the big screen. We will see y'all later.